Hey everybody, this is Mr. Marchetti here. Just wanted to give a quick little introduction video to English 12 and sort of what the class is about and sort of how I go about teaching it, particularly in this weird virtual setting. So I thought this might be helpful to some people who just wanted an idea of what we're going to be doing. So English 12 is sort of traditionally run in terms of, we'll be looking at texts, a couple novels, and some nonfiction pieces. And then doing work along with those. A lot of, reading questions with the novel, and then some discussion pieces and articles along with the nonfiction pieces. Hopefully, as things sort of change throughout the year, I will be able to give you some access to some video components as well, hopefully some movies, if we can figure out how to access them in a way that everybody can get to them. I have them obviously to get to you, but it's difficult when we're not running an in-person class. So we'll figure that out down the road. But for now, I just wanted to focus on sort of what we'll be doing briefly. Obviously, with everything going on in the world, and the class was already run this way beforehand, but since the shooting deaths of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, amongst others, in the African American community, the country has sort of been in wild upheaval and chaos. But there's also, a through line of sort of hope and positivity that has been we've seen all over the country, even in Gardner, the Black Lives Matter protest and march that they had there during the pandemic. So I think it's an important topic to talk about in terms of race and racism in the U.S. and in the world, but particularly in the U.S. and sort of how we are looking at it right now. So what we'll be doing, hopefully I can get this in frame, is we'll be focusing on our main text to start, which is Kekla Magoon's How It Went Down, which is from, I believe, 2014, I'll check just so I'm not wrong, 2014. So it's a recent book, has a lot to do, draws a lot of parallels to the Trayvon Martin shooting, George Zimmerman, and things of that nature, but it is a fictional story that takes a lot from a reality. So we'll be looking at that in its entirety, along with supplementarily looking at W.E.B. Du Bois's The Souls of Black Folks, which is a nonfiction piece, of sort of an overview of the way race was looked at in Du Bois's time, which is in the 20s and the 30s, and how it connects to today. And we'll also be looking at in a more modern way, both from the last year or two. This book is Anti-Racist from Tiffany Jewell, and which is a really great sort of look at race and racism, but also this push towards anti-racist or anti-racism, which is sort of the way it's being approached right now. And I think it's actually it's the correct way to approach issues of race and racism. That's a really great overview of that idea and just of race and racism in general. And finally, at least for this part of the class, we'll be looking at How to Be an Anti-Racist from Ibram X. Kendi, which is a more detailed, more literate look at race and racism. We won't be reading the entirety of the other three books, but we will be reading How It Went Down in its entirety. And yeah, we'll just kind of see how things go, and I want it to be as interactive as possible, hopefully. And we'll just sort of see how things materialize throughout the year. There will be another video where I go over the Google Classroom, so if you're worried about that, there'll be a separate video where we go over what the classroom looks like and where the work is. So yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you all, or re-meeting many of you, I'm assuming, and just sort of getting going with the year.